We are shoe testing.
What shoes you got?
All of these. All of the shoes. I've got Asics, a couple of Nikes, New Balance, Hoka and Adidas. So give them a little go. I'm doing 800s. I'm going to do them quite steady because I mainly want to be testing for like Ironman. So I'm not going full out, and also because my calf issue, so I'm not going full out anyway. So yeah, I'm going to try and keep it around like 345, 350 per K ish, depending on how it feels. Heart rate and sort of how they feel, and judge it off that. So I guess, yeah, I don't need whatever the like fastest shoe to make me get around 400 meters is. I need whatever the shoe that feels the best at that kind of pace. Do it like that, see what happens. I think this will at least whittle down the how do they feel and what do I like, and then I can do further testing when my calf's in better shape. So finally done some shoe testing 5 weeks later, post my aborted track session of trying to do it previously. Good news on that meant that I managed to get more shoes to test, basically spent all of my money. So I tested the Adidas legal ones, I think they're called like the Adios Pro 3, something like that. The New Balance carbon one, the new Hoka Rocket X2, or whatever it's called, the Vaporfly 3, the Asics, that was the Edge 2. Yeah, that was it. I was going to also test one of the other Nikes, but my test that I did in the Vaporflies, I already made up my mind that I don't like the Nikes. So the test was doing 800 meter reps, mainly because I didn't want to do, I'm only just back sort of actually running with the calf properly, so I didn't want to overdo it, and I wanted it to be quite easy to like swap between the shoes so I could see how they feel close to each other, as opposed to doing, I don't know, like 5k reps and then there's only so many you can do in one go. So I thought it was a good opportunity to try and at least like rule some out, maybe get a better idea of what I like for racing pre my race this weekend. I was trying to keep it relatively chilled effort wise, like partly because of the calf and partly because I wanted to test them more at race pace, which I'm not that fast yet, so I kind of was trying to keep it around like 340, 345 pace. It went pretty well actually. I think I definitely need to do some more testing, which I think I knew I was going to have to do a bit more, but I've definitely ruled some out. So the Nikes, they just don't suit how I run. Like I don't feel like I run well in them. They kind of exacerbate any little calf niggles I feel like I have, and yeah, I don't like the way they feel. So the Nikes have been ruled out. So if anyone wants some Nikes, let me know. Then the Asics, I really like how they feel, but they definitely weren't the fastest in terms of effort put in to how fast I was going. I did test them first, so I would have thought if anything, they would have been some of the fastest. So actually the fact that they were one of the slowest, I think they might have actually been the slowest for what felt like the same effort. Heart rate was obviously lower, but that was because it was at the beginning of all the reps. So I was expecting heart rate to kind of creep up throughout the kind of first 3, which it did, and then it kind of stabilized. So yeah, I think like I do like the way the Asics feel. I think they have a new prototype that they're looking at, so there might be a further version that I prefer, but I think for now I won't be racing the Asics for a while. Then I tried the Hoka next. I actually really liked how it felt. Quite hard to get on, but when it was on, like really comfortable shoe. I like it just seemed to fit my foot quite well and felt like I was getting quite a lot back from it. That was one of the faster ones, and actually it just felt comfy. It felt like it would be good for like a marathon. So quite like that one. New Balance was similar actually. Again, like I quite like the way it feels to run in. That could also be an option. Bit easier to get on, although I worry about I don't think you'd be able to run that many. I mean, you probably don't want to run that many races in carbon shoes before you get new ones, but it's got the kind of knitted top, which I think would get really grimy really quickly, like more so than some of the like lighter fabric. Then I tried the Adidas. I actually really liked them, mainly because like, they actually feel really similar to the illegal ones that I ran in last year. Obviously they weren't illegal at that time, but now they are. And again, they feel comfy, they feel spacious, because I think I'm also conscious in a marathon you kind of want a little bit of breathing space for feet getting hot and wet and expanding a bit. So yeah, I liked those. Then I tried the Nikes and really didn't like them. And I then actually went back to the Adidas to see how they were on kind of the end rep of tired legs. And interestingly, I think, I'm just gonna double check before I say absolute rubbish. So my last rep was then, again, one of the fastest ones and was like a couple of beats lower heart rate wise, which for the last rep I think is like, that's quite good. So I think, yeah, potentially Adidas is forerunner at the moment, but I'm gonna keep testing, I think, the Hoka and the New Balance, just to kind of see whether maybe over slightly longer distance they might just edge out. So yeah, I think like good that I've managed to rule some out, and actually quite nice in some ways to have some options. So I think I might be taking a few pairs of trainers out to Gran Canaria and Ibiza and do a bit more testing out there. I think I'm gonna race in the Adidas this weekend. Like partly because they feel really similar to the Prime X. I think then it'll just feel similar to what I raced in at the end of last year, and that was my best ever run. So I think I'll start with those, and then I might take one of the others out with me as an option, but it depends on how much space I have left when I've packed. So yeah, I think I'll start with Adidas and go from there.